we anchored our campaign on the platform of the economy premise on job creation and the well-being of the people of Kenya, and we have been working continuously on the measures to bring down the cost of living. Our people are confronted daily with increasingly unaffordable prices, especially food and transport. In our economic forums across the country, during the campaign, citizens consistently shared their anxiety, their pain, and their fury on this matter. It therefore calls on us for urgent and decisive resolution. The interventions in place have not borne any fruit. On fuel subsidy alone, the taxpayers have spent a whopping 144 billion, 60 billion in the last 4 months alone. If the subsidy continues to the end of the financial year, it will cost taxpayers 280 billion, equivalent to the entire national government development budget. Additionally, there was an attempt to subsidize unga in the run-up to the election, a program that cobbled up 7 billion in 1 month. In addition to being very costly, consumption subsidy interventions are prone to abuse. They distort markets and create uncertainty, including artificial shortages of the very products they seek to subsidize. The cost of living challenges are related in our respectful submission to production. Our strategy to bring down the cost of living is predicated on empowering producers. The forecast for maize harvest this year is below 30 million bags against a normal production of 40 million bags.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is William Samoei Ruto during his inauguration. Listening to his speech, one would think that Kenya would be a heaven on earth. But 1 year down the line, William Samoei Ruto is now following Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's footstep. Indeed, when you look at Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and the way he used to operate the economy, you see the hand of a genius. You see the hand of somebody who understood the economy very clearly. Sasa, ukisikiliza William Samoei Ruto wakati ambapo alikuwa anapishwa, alisema kwamba the government is not going to do anything, it had nothing to do with subsidies. Yesterday, William Samoei Ruto ate his own words. Yes, fuel was subsidized. The fuel levy that, what normally happens is that the government is trying to explain itself because the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority was supposed to adjust fuel, the cost of fuel, cost of pump prices upwards. Lakini kile ambacho kilifanyika ni kwamba serikali give fuel subsidies. That is why the price of petrol is the same today as it was when it was the month was beginning. Indeed, the government is supposed to make EPRA is supposed to make adjustments, whether upwards or downwards, every date 14 of the month. Lakini sasa what they are trying to say is that ati mwananchi amekuwa akilipa sijui petroleum levy, and what they did is now to caution mwananchi ati sasa hizo pesa ndizo sasa zinatumika, and they are saying that the money did not come from the exchequer and it is people now kwa sababu wamekuwa wakilipa kodi, sasa ati hizo pesa ndizo ambazo zinagharimia sasa the price of petrol, so that the price does not change. Does it make sense? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, visit Dennis Itubi's Twitter handle and read the pain and the difficulty of trying to explain why they are reverting to fuel subsidy. And this is William Samoei Ruto for you. And the question that beg answers, because you see, mara nyingi William Samoei Ruto has been saying that what they are going to do, they are going to subsidize production, which is good. Subsidizing production is a good thing, it's a good idea. But the question is, does Kenya produce oil? Does Kenya has oil, or whereby we produce mafuta so that we can subsidize? We don't. But you have seen the government now, because of hakuna haja ya kuzungumzia mambo mengi ambayo utakuja kuyatafuna maneno yake hapo baadaye, kwa sababu kile ambacho tumeona na that case is something that is tainting the government badly. In this video, I want us to look at this issue of fuel levy, subsidy, whereby the government is finding it very, very difficult to explain to Kenyans why it is now subsidizing fuel. Na kusema ukweli, watu wengi hasa hususan wafuasi wa Kenya Kwanza hawaamini ya kwamba that William Samoei Ruto's government has subsidized fuel. That is the truth of the matter. And I want you to check. Utaona kwamba bei ya mafuta inazidi kupanda when you look at the international markets. But ukiangalia, they are trying to argue that William Samoei Ruto is stabilizing the economy. It's stabilizing the economy. Why is he not stabilizing the dollars? Because you see, the dollar is hitting the roof. That is a fact of the matter. So the first reason why the government is doing it silently is because the government will be embarrassed. Truth be told, and already the government is very much embarrassed. Kwa sababu huwezi ukaambia watu you are not going to subsidize fuel and you are going to subsidize production, and then you go ahead when the fuel is supposed to be adjusted upwards, unasema sasa kile ambacho kinalipa ni ile tax watu wamekuwa wakilipa, and you're not getting the money from the exchequer. What is it? The fact is you are trying to subsidize, and you are already subsidizing fuel. The second reason, other than embarrassment, is that the government is coming out as clueless, if you ask me. The government is coming out as, inabidi tuulize maswali mengi. Who are the people who advises the government? Because you see, many times you find William Samoei Ruto making declarations, and sometimes it comes to haunting. It comes to haunt the government. Kwa sababu I believe kulingana na vile ambavyo mambo yanaendelea, William Samoei Ruto will end up following everything that Uhuru Kenyatta was doing. Remember one thing, that Uhuru Kenyatta was the president, and William Samoei Ruto was the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya at the Jubilee administration. That is a fact of the matter. And whatever Uhuru was doing, I'm very much aware William Samoei Ruto had a big input. That is the truth of the matter. Lakini sasa we have seen watu wakijaribu kuonyesha kwamba like William Samoei Ruto was not part of Uhuru's administration. That is very wrong, if you ask me. Na sasa kule kuweka subsidies kwa mafuta, bei ya mafuta, it is something that is also putting into question these advisors, the economic advisors who are usually advising the president. They are very poor, if you ask me. They seem not to have an understanding of economy. They seem not to understand about the issues about the economy. And when William Samoei Ruto says that he was a student of Mwai Kibaki, within 1 month, was able to remove the country from IMF. That is the truth of the matter. Kenya haikuwa inakopa kutoka kwa IMF. That is the truth of the matter. But William Samoei Ruto's government is still borrowing heavily. That's another thing that Kenyans need to know. And if you listen to Kenya Kwanza, wanasema ya kwamba hakopi. Lakini ukiangalia, if you look at it keenly, you realize that the government has borrowed almost 1.2 trillion. That's the truth of the matter. More than what Uhuru Kenyatta had borrowed at the same time. So, most of the things that the government is doing is just to weak Kenyans. Most of the things that the government is doing, in fact, the government is eating its own words. Serikali inakosea hapa jameni. Kwamba we say we are not going to do this, and then we end up doing the same thing that we are saying we are not going to do. What is this now, if you ask me? And I want the members of Kenya Kwanza to challenge me and tell me and convince Kenyans that the government has not subsidized petrol, fuel, or the pump prices. I don't know what you think, but from where I sit, I can tell you, William Samoei Ruto is not delivering what he promised to deliver 1 year down the line. This is Skyman TV, the Trust Man Black Africa. Kindly remember to like this video and enjoy your Tuesday. Bye-bye.